Okay, in this video we're going to look at radicals with variables. So let's start with the square root of x squared. Okay, square root of x squared, that's the square root of x times x. Okay, and we saw from before, if we have something times something, then the square root is just going to be x. Okay, so we can think of this as the square and the square root cancel, and we're left with x. All right, if we have let's say we've got the square root of x to the fourth. Okay, so x to the fourth we could write as x squared times x squared. All right, those two factors match. So the square root is going to be x squared. If we've got x to the sixth, we could write that as x cubed times x cubed. And the answer is x cubed. I could keep going. Okay, we could have x to the eighth would be x to the fourth times x to the fourth. Okay, but probably you see the pattern here. So if I'm taking the square root, look at what happens to the exponent each time. Okay, each time the exponent is going to take half. Okay, so the square root, we're going to see in another video, we're going to see that the square root takes half of this exponent. So rather than writing it out in this middle row every time, we can just go ahead and cut to the end and take half. So if I have the square root of x to the 20, okay, that's like x to the 10th times x to the 10, or we can just remember that it takes, the square root takes half, and we get x to the 10th. Okay, I could have the square root of x to the 16th, so half of that would be x to the 8th. Okay, so the square root is going to take half of the exponent. All right, now we can do something similar with the cube root of x, but this time we're going to need 3 of them to cancel out with the cube root. So remember, we need 3 factors to go with the cube root. So that's going to be 3 identical factors, and the cube root is going to give us just x. All right, so we could do the cube root of x to the 6th. That would be x cubed times x squared times x squared times x squared. Remember, we need 3 matching factors this time. So that's going to be x squared. We could do the cube root of x to the 9th. Okay, we need 3 matching factors. That's going to be x cubed times x cubed times x cubed. That gives us 9 of them. And the matching factor is x cubed, and so on. But you can probably see the pattern here. Look at what the cube root is doing. It's taking 1/3 of the exponent each time. Okay, so we need to have a multiple of 3 underneath the cube root in order to evaluate it. So if we have a multiple of 3, we can evaluate. So let's say we've got the cube root of x to the 12th. Okay, can I take 1/3 of that? Yes, I can. It's going to be x to the 4th. Cube root of x to the 30th. Cube root of x to the 30th, can I take 1/3? Yes, I get x to the 10th. Okay, so for the square root, we're going to take half the exponent. Okay, remember we're talking about exponents here, not numbers, exponents. And for cube root, we're going to take 1/3 of the exponent.